Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to October. It's hard to believe it's October already. I hope you crushed your goals in September. We're going to talk today about why Grant Cardone is wrong in 10xing your goals. We're going to talk about that, talk about goal setting. I have a couple marketing tricks that I want to show you guys that I use that I think could help you, but we're going to do all that after this intro. I hope you're pumped up for another Monday Mindset. Let's go. I'll see you on the other side.
There are no bad businesses. There are just those people who don't know enough to see the opportunities in the work they're in. If there seems to be no future or opportunity in it, it isn't always because it's not there, but perhaps only because we can't see it.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to another Monday Mindset. I'm going to talk to you today about crushing your goals and why I believe or have found that Grant Cardone is wrong when he says 10x your goals. And I'll tell you why about that in a second. But I want to give you guys some simple hacks that I think could help you. I was sharing this with an agent last week and want to share it with you because I think it can help you in your business from a marketing standpoint. And these are just three simple things that you can take advantage of for understanding like what to market about. And a lot of people, when it comes to marketing, they don't know what content they should be sharing, what content they should be posting on their social, what content they should be recording videos on. And a really simple hack, let me share my screen and I'll show you guys this. So hopefully you guys can see my screen here. One of the simple hacks that I teach people to do is you should be seeing my Google right now search. And I just put up here a simple search of how to choose property and casualty insurance. Now, if you've ever wondered these suggestions, why do they come up? These suggestions come up because this is what people are searching that is most common and most alike to what you just searched. And even better than this, what I tell people is these are topics for you, right? Property and casualty insurance summary. Giving a summary on that. Property and casualty insurance examples. So if you're in property and casualty insurance, you can literally write a blog post, film a video. It's better on video because 80% of all web traffic is now turning to video. So do a video on property and casualty insurance examples. So people are already searching that in Google. So if you have a video titled that, you put keywords with property and casualty insurance and those type of things, you have SEO power now. And if you do enough of it consistently, you can rank and your videos will show. But it gets better if you scroll down. This is better. People also ask. So if you see this, it says, what is the basic P&C insurance? Man, that's a video for you right there. Is casualty insurance the same as property insurance? That's a post for you. What are the three most common kinds of property insurance? What are the two major lines of property casualty insurance firms? These are literal topics that you can do. And as you open it, look, more start popping up. So you can just go down and see, and down here at the bottom, you have another one, what people ask. And this you can do for any, like what type of insurance are you doing? I mean, let's just type in life insurance, right? And here, all of a sudden you have these things popping up. but let's search and see what Google suggests. What are 3 things you need to consider when buying life insurance? That's a video. All of you, and tag it with your local area too, right? Because when you go to Google, most people allow their location to be seen on Google. So what Google does is they use that location to not only go out to the web and get relevant items based upon what your search term is, but then they also try to serve you up localized content because people prefer local content. So if you are literally, doing a video on what 3 things you need to consider when buying life insurance, and you tag your local area, you might come up. I wanted to see if anybody's video would come up on this. It doesn't look like, people aren't even utilizing video the way they should. And this is a great way for you to do content. So that's one hack for you. Another hack that I gave to people when it came to content, and thanks, Joe, appreciate the shout outs there, man. So another one that I give to people is images. So they don't know what images to use, and it's hard to find good imagery for your post or to use in your marketing. There's this site called pixabay.com, and there's literally over 2 million plus royalty-free images, so you don't have to worry about copyright. And you can come in here and search, like I'll just search insurance real quick and see what pops up. So look at all these stock images that you can just use for free in your marketing, and it keeps just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. So pixabay.com is a great site if you're looking for free images to have for whether it's your postcards that you're putting together or your Facebook posts that you're putting together and you're looking for imagery. Another great one, this is like the holy grail of Facebook ads. So if you search for the Facebook ad library, so one of the things that happened recently with Facebook is, I shouldn't say recently, it was back at the 2016 election, basically caused all of this privacy law stuff to come into action. And one of the things that Facebook was required to do was showcase to people the ads that companies are running. So this is incredible for you to do R&D, rip off and duplicate, not research and development, rip off and duplicate. You can go literally see anybody's Facebook ads that they are running. So I'll just pull up, like we run so much ads. So let me pull up just Reminder Media. I think I saw it there. Actually, it's in my search history. Yeah. So let me pull up Reminder Media and just show you, right? So look at all these ads that we run, right? And here's a hack for you, right? So we're running ads. Oh, look, there's Rebecca Davis. So shout out to Rebecca Davis if you're in this group. But a hack for you here, little cheat, is look at the date that the ad was posted. That is really important. And here's why. With the ad, you can see their copy. You can see their imagery that they're using. So you can find your competitive insurance agents that you think are killing it, right? People that are in the group that are in different locations from you that are saying they're having great success with Facebook ads. You can go to Facebook ads library, find their business page, search it, and look at the ads that they're running. You can look at the copy that is working for them. You can look at the imagery that's working for them. But the reason why I point out the date is because you don't know for sure if a lot of this stuff is working for Reminder Media. Because heck, man, we just posted some of these ads on September 28th. We're changing all the time. But if you scroll down way, way back, we've been running this since March 8th, 2023. You know what that tells you? That tells you Luke either loves wasting money, running ads that don't work, or something about this ad must be working for Luke because he's been running it since March. And most of the time, business owners don't want to waste money. Now, it's not always true. Some people are not keeping up with their ads. But if you look at the dates that people have, like we've been running this one since July, wow, we must be getting a great cost per conversion on these ads because we've been running them for so long. And another tip, we should probably do a whole Monday Mindset on Facebook ads. You want to be changing up your imagery and copy all the time because your ad's only going to be seen to a certain number of people in an audience, and it's going to start being seen multiple times. And Facebook is an interrupt platform, not an intent platform. So Google is an intent platform. So when people come to Google here, right, they are searching for this. So they have intent. Facebook, when I come to Facebook, I don't have intent to learn about this magazine, right? I didn't come to Facebook to learn about an insurance or a magazine I can send for my insurance agency. I came to Facebook to catch up, to see what my friends are doing, to be entertained. So Facebook is an interrupt platform, which means your copy and your imagery have to interrupt that person's kind of focus to get them to pay attention. So that is one of the reasons why you have to change your copy and your imagery often, because after it's been seen multiple times, people just start tuning it out and it's no longer in their purview. And if you get new imagery, it can actually work for you. In fact, I could keep going on this. We're starting to use Midjourney in creating images for the Facebook ads that we run for agents. And the reason why is we're finding, and Midjourney is an AI platform. It's ChatGPT's basically version to create images. And we're creating images using Midjourney and putting those in our Facebook ads. And we're finding that because the image just looks a little different because it's created by AI, it's a pattern interrupt that people pay attention. And we're seeing greater conversions with images used that were created by AI versus just plain stock images. So interesting fact there. Not proven out, but you should try it. Let me know if it works for you. It's pretty interesting. All right. So let's get to the main title of this, and I'll stop sharing my screen. I hope those tips were helpful. Chat in if those tips were helpful for you guys. Let me see if I can stop sharing my screen real quick. Joe says he's going to try it. I love it. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that, man. All right. So I wrote in my title, why Grant Cardone is wrong. You shouldn't 10x your goals. And the reason why I say that is, you guys know I run a decently large organization. We do a lot of goal setting. Goal setting is on my mind right now because in September, we start the beginning process of our budget planning, our goal planning for next year. October here, we're going to be in full steam ahead of really forecasting out what we believe we can do next year, road mapping from our projects to our sales, all this good stuff. And so goal setting is on my mind. And for years and years and years, I subscribed to this philosophy that you should just freaking shoot for the stars and land on the moon. And here is what I have found. When you are maybe a solopreneur, that could be a good thing because you're pushing yourself. But if you have any team members, the problem with 10xing your goal, so let's say I want to, hit 100 million this year. In yearly revenue in 2024. Well, Grant Cardone would say, well, you need to set your goal at $1 billion, right? You need to just freaking 10x that thing type idea. And the problem with that is it's a good mindset exercise. It's even a good, almost like dreaming exercise and work through to go, what would it take for me to get to $1 billion? But it's not a realistic goal. And because it's not a realistic goal, if you are not just a solopreneur and you have any team members on your team, what you lose is two things. One is you lose the ability for accountability at a true level. So when you set a 10x goal and it's not an actual achievable or realistic goal, you lose a portion of accountability for your team members that is so critical to drive success. But even more importantly than that, here is what I found. Now, I'm only speaking from my experience. Chat in if you think I'm totally off here. But from my experience, what I have found is when I set crazy high goals, where I like to set goals that are realistic but stretch you a little bit. But when I set them crazy high and we don't come close, people fail. And when you fail constantly at hitting your goals with a team specifically, you create a culture of losing. You create a culture of where you're not winning. So instead of having a winning culture, you have a losing culture. And you ever hear people complain about burnout? You ever hear team members complain about burnout? Like, I love what Grant Cardone says here. So I'm hitting him on one end, but I'm going to praise him on another. He says, you don't burn out. You're not a candle. Candles burn out. Human beings don't burn out. You don't burn out. And what he means by that is the only reason you're burnt out is because you're losing. You only are depressed and discouraged when you're not winning the game. When you're winning the game, people don't get tired of winning. They just get tired of losing. So if you set a 10x goal and you don't hit that goal and you're constantly shooting for the stars and hoping that you're going to get there and you land on the moon, the problem with that philosophy is you lose accountability, and more importantly, you create amongst team members that are not at the strategic level like you, but are at the activity and producing level, a culture of losing. Every quarterly meeting they're showing up, man, we're still not on track to hitting our goals. Every month that goes by, man, I'm still not on track to hitting my goals. And it creates a losing type culture instead of a winning culture. Kevin O'Leary did some research on this, right? The Shark Tank guy. And he wrote an article years back that talked about how women-led companies hit their targets like 95% of the time, whereas men-led companies hit their targets 65% of the time. And he went on to share how women do a much better job in leading and setting good goals. They are better goal setters. I don't know why. I haven't studied it very much, but I was reading this article and listening to Kevin O'Leary talk about this. And he said that really stood out for him with his portfolio of companies. And so he used to be the Grant Cardone mindset of setting these massive goals. And that's good for dreaming. But in reality, when you're running your organization, he says he's now switched and subscribed to this philosophy of I want to set realistic and achievable goals that we hit 95% of the time, because these women-led companies, they made more money. They made more money and they were more successful. And his theory was, which I think is a true theory, is that it's because they created a winning culture, not a losing culture. People felt proud of what they've accomplished. People felt like they were winners. And in sales, when you get that first deal, how much easier is it to close that second deal? When you get that second deal, how easy is it to close that third deal, right? You start getting on a roll and you have this confidence like you're invincible. And one of the things that we try to do for our new callers is try to set them up to close some deals, even if it's a little easier of a lead, to try to get their confidence up, right? I always compare it like if I'm asking someone out, right, and you're at the bar and you're trying to get someone's number, right? If you're just rejected every time you try to ask somebody out, man, you're going to get discouraged. But the first person who tells you yes, you get a little bit of a confidence about yourself. So it's the same when you're hitting your goals in your organization. You've got to set great goals. Now, there's this acronym out there called SMART, right? And maybe you've heard about this before, but this is what I try to subscribe to, which SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So you want to be very specific in your goal setting. This is really critical for all of you who are coming up in 2024. Do you know your numbers? Do you know your target and what it takes to get those numbers? You need to be very specific. And you need to get down to where you can measure what you're talking about. So I'm going to set my revenue goals and I cascade from sales, right? Here's my revenue target. So I look, your best indicator of future performance is past performance. So I look at my history. If you guys want to know how I set my goals, I look at the past 90 days and I go, forecast me out based upon this 90-day performance, what I would do if I continued this type of trajectory in 2024. Then I go, well, then forecast me out a 6-month performance, because maybe in this 90 days, I've been real hot. It's been a great season. We had some smashing marketing campaigns, but that wasn't true for the whole year. So let's take a 6-month average and let's forecast that out. And then let's take a 12-month average and forecast that out. And I can see these 3 different forecasts that going, hey, the most recent performance, Luke, here's how you trend. 6 months, here's how you trend. 12 months, here's how you trend. That's my indicator of what I'm going to do if I change nothing and if I keep the status quo. And then what I do is I set my revenue targets based upon that reality. Because if that reality comes in that, Luke, if you do the same as what you did in the last 90 days, 6 months, 12 months, you're only going to grow by 5%. Well, it might be crazy for me to set a target of 50% if at my current rate, I'm only going to hit a 5% growth next year, right? So it sets my benchmark of what is possible. And then I start doing what all of you should do. I get very specific about, hey, what is the target and why? So I have these revenue targets that are going to be driven by different initiatives in the organization, whether it's product launches, right? Or I'm hiring more people, or we're going to get into a new industry. So I start to get very specific about my revenue target and how I'm going to get there. And then I get to my measurables. Like how am I going to get here? If I need this many sales, how many salespeople do I need to actually hit this many sales based upon what my average salesperson converts? And if I have my current team, well, if I add new members, what does a new member actually convert at on average when I look back at my history? And then I look at my conversions and go, well, how many leads would these salespeople be going through and I have to feed them every single day if I add in this many new sales members. And then from there, that tells me how many leads I need. And that tells me I base my leads off of the conversion rates. And all these things cascade down to where I know, wow, this is what the marketing team needs to perform. This is what recruiting needs to hire. This is what sales needs to retain from a staffing perspective and from a goal and quota perspective. And I cascade all the way down, but it's all based upon an achievable goal that's set in some time frame that we want to achieve. And that has been way better for me in my company than when I used to do years ago, where I was just, sky's the limit. We're going to the moon. I'm 10Xing everything. 10Xing is a great exercise, but it's not good in practicality of holding people accountable. And I would love to go to Grant Cardone's organization. Maybe he'll invite me. I'd love to go to his organization and find out, hey, Grant, is 10X a mindset only? But in reality, all your salespeople are actually held accountable to real goals that are specific, that are measurable, that are achievable, that are relevant, and that are time-bound, because I bet you that's what it is, where 10X is more of a challenge to go think bigger. Think about how you could actually do even more. So if it takes you this much to get to 20% growth, well, if you doubled it, could you get to 40% growth? Would it grow at the same ratio and same rate? So that is something that's a challenge to you. It's on my mind today. That's why I wanted to share it on this Monday Mindset, is going, hey, I'm in goal season right now. I'm starting to think about next year. I'm starting to collect all my data for my past performance to start getting some benchmark. Are you doing the same? We're already in October. Before you know it, December's going to be here. Don't be one of those people that waits to the last week of the year and goes, wow, I really need to set some goals. Because the effort you put into your goal setting is going to be the reality that plays out. So you need to spend time thinking about what you're going to achieve, how you're going to achieve it, why you believe it's going to work, and start brainstorming on those things. That's how you become successful. And if your team is winning by hitting their goals, you create a winning culture. If your team is constantly missing quota, subconsciously, they might not say it, but you're creating a losing culture, and no one wants to be part of a losing culture. I hope that was helpful for you guys. Take advantage of what I shared in the beginning too, man. Go to Google. That's the greatest hack for you. And just type in your like how to choose an insurance agent, how to choose life insurance, how to choose property casualty, how to choose Medicare. It will give you all the topics you should be recording content on, you should be posting about, you should be writing a blog on, and it will help you in your SEO. Let's get out there this week. Let's win for our families. Let's win for our clients. Let's win for ourselves. I appreciate you guys so much. Let's have a great one. I'll see you.